Hello everyone, welcome back to the Human Reviews channel, and today we're listening to Electric Ladyland. Yeah, I was not anticipating listening to this so soon, but DHD Bling here sent me 52 GBP to listen to this album. This is one I have been excited to listen to for a while, but I haven't gotten around to it because I've just been putting it off. I've been like, it's such a long album and I want to make sure I'm in the right state of mind to listen to it and get a good reaction, but we're doing it today. This album came out in 1968, it's 16 tracks, an hour and 15. It's a long album. I've heard 5 songs off of this album already. I have heard Have You Ever Been to Electric Ladyland, I've heard Crosstown Traffic, I've heard Little Miss Strange, Long Hot Summer Night, Burning in the Midnight Lamp, I've heard 6 songs, and I've also heard Along the Watchtower. I don't remember all of them. It's been a while since I've listened to some of the songs that I've already heard, so some of them are going to be like first reactions again. But still, the vast majority of songs on here I have not heard. So I'm very excited to get into this, okay? Everyone thinks this is like the best album of all time. Fantano gave it a 10. Everyone's given this thing a 10, okay? Everyone fucking loves this album, and I'm pretty certain I'm going to love this album. Wait, did Fantano... Is this not on Fantano's classic 10s for the 60s?
Okay, hey, hi, and hello.
Did I gaslight myself into thinking he gave it a 7? I think I was getting this mixed up with Hot Rats. I was genuinely mixing Electric Ladyland up with Hot Rats. So Fantano did not give this a 10. Misinformation, whoopsies. But anyway, everyone else has given this thing a 10. Look at this. 100 critic score. Only 4 critic reviews of this album. It's one of like the most important rock albums of all time, and it's only got 4 interesting. Yeah, look at this. 100, 97, 90, 95, 90, 90. Everyone loves this fucking album, okay? And I'm almost certain I'm going to like it too. I am going to just get straight into this. Track 1, And the Gods Made Love. Great transition. That was an interesting opener. What the fuck was that? Firstly, that sounded pretty impressive for the 60s. How the hell did they make something that sounds that, like, glitchy and futuristic in 1968? That's pretty impressive. Secondly, that was, like, such an odd opener that I don't know how to even score it. It gets an NR out of 10, no rating. Have I heard Axis Boulder's Love in Full? I don't think so. Have you ever been to Electric Ladyland?
Have you ever been? So don't you be late. Oh, I wanna show you understand.
Another impressive transition. As a proper album opener, I would give that a 10. I already had it as a 10 beforehand, according to the like songs here. Yeah, that song's a 10. So trippy, so like futuristic. The guitar tones are flawless. The bass is so thick. The panning on the vocals and Jimi Hendrix's vocal performance itself are both incredible. And I love a lot of the very weird, like, almost phaser sounding effects that they put on the drums as well. Who's on the drums on this album again? I feel like that's important for me to know. Very watery guitar tones, yeah. Mitch Mitchell. It's Mitch Mitchell, yep. Yeah, Mitch Mitchell is, like, one of the best drummers ever, okay? Actually one of the best drummers ever. No Ringo, you know what I'm saying? Actually one of the best. Yeah, he got like a cast of like the best musicians ever to create some of the best sounding rock music ever. That song is genuinely a 10. Next track, Crosstown Traffic.
Speed I drive, you tell me
My God. Wait. Are you kidding me? I mean, I've heard this song before, I remember it, but I don't remember it sounding this good. This shit's aged flawlessly. Reserve blazing. Welcome back to this night.
I'm not the only souls accused of hit and run.
God, these drums sound amazing. Drums sound incredible for a 60s recording. Yes, round of applause, I agree with the audience. Holy shit, 15 minutes. Wow. Yeah, that song's another 10. That is some of the best produced 60s music I've heard. The recording is flawless. The recording, the mixing, the panning, all flawless. Like, I can't... I legit, even by today's standards, I can't really find any holes in it. This sounds so ahead of its time that it's kind of mind-boggling that this came out in the 60s. It sounds perfect. And the song itself, like as an actual song, regardless of production and mixing and whatnot, is also pretty flawless. It's just, it has so much insane, like hard rock energy. Jimi Hendrix's vocal performance is absolutely wild on that track. The drums, Mitch Mitchell provides so much intensity and so much gravity and weight to that song just through his drumming. Next track, Voodoo Chile, 15 minutes. The chat proceeded to absolutely ridicule me for that pronunciation, and in my defense, that word does not read as child the first time you read it, okay? So I don't want to see any mockery in the comments from you motherfuckers, okay? That word does not read as child the first time you see it. It's not my fault. Transitions are also great between all of these songs. It's child. That is quite clearly an E. That is an E right there. Wait, he is saying Voodoo Child though. Oh, he's saying child without the D. That, in all fairness, that's how the country of Chile is spelled, right? That's how that's spelled. So in my defense, it makes sense that I would make that mistake. Nice. Someone was talking about Are You Experienced earlier. I probably listened to that album as well. But I've heard a handful of songs off of Are You Experienced, and I've liked all of them. It's supposed to sound like a live performance. It's doing it well. Yeah. You can try to sound live the Hendrix way or the Oasis way. Yeah. It's a great film there. That little crush roll there, that was cool. Is it crunch roll or crush roll? My drum terminology is terrible and it's the only instrument I play. Oh my god. So was Jimi Hendrix just guitar and vocals, or did he do anything else? I say just guitar and vocals. The guitar and the vocals are like the best thing about it. Songwriting as well, yeah. Some piano and bass, cool. He plays Tissue Paper on Crosstown Traffic. This is so ridiculously well recorded. I don't know what recording techniques they used, but this is like one of the best sounding 60s albums I've ever heard. That bass tone is disgusting. Oh my god. It's so thick as well. The subtle keys in the left channel are great. The nice swing that Mitch Mitchell brings to this as well. And the great like jazzy fills that he adds. Give me a boring reaction if I'm rendered speechless the whole time. That's what most reactions are on YouTube anyway, just people not talking, and then the video ends. That was so cool, that little bend there. Imagine, if I hated this, this would be my most hated reactions. Reaction. Oh my god. Ringo should have been in this band. Yeah, Ginger Baker as well, another one I like the best. 10 again? Yeah. A 2-minute abridged version? Exactly. Where's the radio edit? Yeah, that's the best song on the album up to this point. To have to have a song this large, a rock song this large, from the 60s, that is that perfect front to back, is so impressive. Like, the songs are all incredible, but I find myself being more impressed by this album than anything. Impressed that they were able to pull this off when they did. This is a masterclass in mixing, in recording, in songwriting, in performance. Like, hey, I'll do the Mitch Mitchell rant now. Here's the reason why a lot of the reasoning people give Ringo for being the best drummer of all time, I would give to Mitch Mitchell. I don't think Mitch Mitchell is my favorite. I would say Danny Carey is, but Mitch Mitchell's up there. People always give Ringo credit for playing what's perfect for the song and not overplaying. Mitch Mitchell does that, but a million times better. Where Ringo just keeps it a little too simple at times, in my opinion. Mitch Mitchell, he's able to keep it simple, but he also adds so much flair. You can tell it's him playing, from all of the fills to how much actual like jazzy swing he gives to his performances, to the transitions between each section. Anyway, now that the Ringo slander's out of the way, that song's a 10, yeah. Best song on the album so far, and an absolute achievement that they were able to make a song that big when it came out. That was incredible. Little Miss Strange. It's Rage, but it's not. Jimmy calling Bob Dylan's grandmother. Alright. Yeah, the drums on this song are amazing again. Why did track 1 get an NR? Because it was such a weird intro that I didn't know what to score it. Nice. Great, yeah. I will say that this is, of these first 4 proper tracks, my least favorite so far, but not by a lot. I would even say by like only the tiniest margin, because I feel like it's like the only song so far that I can pick out as definitely being my least favorite. Keep the 10 train going. I don't think this one's a 10, in my opinion. This one is just a hair below a 10 at a 9.8. And it's just because I don't think it's quite as impressive as the other songs. I don't feel like it's quite as like mind-blowing as the previous 3. But it's still an amazing song. I can't pick out any flaws in it. It's still incredibly well composed. I think that the vocals on this one are incredible. Again, Mitch Mitchell is providing some incredible drumming as well. But because of the fact that I am able to pick this out as my least favorite so far, I don't feel like I can give it a 10. Because I am able to pick it out as my least favorite. It's as close as I can get to giving it a 10 without giving it a 10, because I don't give out 9.9s. Long Hot Summer Night, up next. Why not? Because I don't see the point of giving a 9.9, because a single point beneath the 10 just seems a bit pointless. So if I ever end up giving something a 9.9, I just round it up to a 10. 9.9 describes what I would give it? Not necessarily. The way I calculate my scores is I add up all the track scores and then divide it by the amount of tracks on the album. So then if I end up giving something a 9.9, what I do is I then take into account the full experience of the album, and then adjust the score for that. And then usually the experience of the album is a 10, even if I don't think all of the tracks are perfect. That's why an album like, I don't know, Songs for the Deaf is a 10. Not all the songs on that album are perfect, but the experience of that album, to me, is perfect. That's why I don't give out 9.9s. Exactly, it's the most arbitrary thing. It will not affect the score of the album. Every song on this is just incredible. They're just so expressive, and they are filled with so much power. Every single moment of every single song. There hasn't been a single point on this album where I haven't been like completely locked in with the instrumentals, completely locked in with the vocals, completely locked in with how amazing everything sounds. Shit's ridiculous. Even that song, it's so perfectly paced. 3.5 minutes, it goes through all these different phases and all of them work so well. Jimi Hendrix sort of like provides such an incredible through line for that song, and it's so funky as well. Like, it feels like it has so much bounce and so much swing to it. I'm actually blown away. I am like, bro, this shit is so good. 9.7, amazing. But with that logic, an 8.9 is a 9? No. The only 0.9 I don't give is a 9.9. Because I can describe the experience of something of being an 8.9. I know what that is. It is just below the cusp of being near perfect. But with near perfect to perfect, I feel like a 9.9 I'm not able to describe. You know what I'm saying? I can describe the differences between a lot of the other decimals, but a 9.9 I can't really describe. Like 1 point beneath a 10, I wouldn't be able to pick apart what that 1 point is made of. You know what I'm saying? But with 2 points, I can describe what that's made of. Next up we have Come On Let the Good Times Roll.
People talking, but they just don't know. So many people live and make believe. They keep a lot of dirt up their sleeve.
Little Richard with Hendrix on the top, that would be crazy. Oh damn, the drums, Jesus. The solos are so wild on here. Oh, this one's a cover? Who's it covering? So yeah, that's a cover. Okay, so that's just essentially the band flexing that they're all like the best at their instruments ever. I see. That shit was so good. Oh King, okay. It's also an adaptation of an earlier song from the 40s. It must have gone through quite the transformation to end up here then. I just felt like them all flexing that they're all the best at their instruments. Like the guitar solo on that was insane. The drumming was like fucking nuts all throughout that song. The bass line too was, the bass lines were incredible. Even the subtle keys in there were really nice too. Jimi Hendrix vocals have not let up on a single song on this album. I'm blown away. I cannot believe how good this is. Next song, Gypsy Eyes. And by that I mean Spotify doesn't want to play the song. There we go. Yeah, that double time was great. Also, the introduction of the bass before the double time came in completely caught me off guard. It just added so much depth to the song.
I remember, I'm trying to meet you by the old highway. Hey! My Gypsy Eyes is burning, and I've been saying
Yeah. Literally sounds like he's hypnotized by our eyes. And that just sudden fade, so good. That song is like within my top 3 up to this point, to be honest. Bro, at the beginning, like it's just the guitar, the drums, and Jimi Hendrix. But then when the bass comes in, and it just adds so much more depth, and it makes the song feel so much thicker. It's incredible. And then the vocal effect that's on that song as well is amazing. The panning on that song is some of the best we've had on the album up to this point. And yeah, the vocal effect, it literally sounds like he's hypnotized by our eyes. That's, bro. I'm actually like glazing fucking Electric Ladyland right now. It's the most like basic take ever to say that this is like the best album of all time, but this is actually like probably the best 60s music I've heard. Like, people say Abbey Road is one of the best produced albums of all time. This is giving it a run for its money. I think the production on this is like at that same level of quality, if not maybe even higher. It's overshadowed by the Beatles. In terms of popularity, yeah, but in terms of quality, I'm liking this more than even like Abbey Road. I think that this is like the best 60s music I've heard. Burning of the Midnight Lamp. This is another one I've heard, by the way. This is the instrumental track, okay. I remember. Oh wait, there are vocals. Isn't there an instrumental song on this album? Backing vocals are heavenly, I agree. Baroque gospel rock, yeah. It's like bluesy with like a little bit of hard rock in there with some, yeah, psychedelic as well. Are they telling the truth? Oh, they're telling the truth. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about like the sounds of this album. It sort of feels like it's, yeah, again, it's got some like Baroque pop, it's like blues rock, psychedelic, some elements sort of feel like, I know hard rock would come after this, but it sort of feels like it laid some of the influences for hard rock as well. This is just like a melting pot of so many different styles of rock, and all of them are being blended together basically perfectly. I think I remember this one being my least favorite of all of the songs I was sent in on this album beforehand. And while I still would say that it is my least favorite up to this point, it's by the tiniest margin ever. It's grown. I remember giving it, I think, like a low 8. It's now a 9.5. It's a fucking near-perfect song. This shit is nuts. That one is like, it's like the most overwhelmingly psychedelic feeling song up to this point. It literally is just drenched in effects, drenched in crazy panning and weird vocals. It feels like the most trippy song up to this point. It is just such a wild ride of a track, and it fits perfectly coming after Gypsy Eyes as well, especially talking about like being hallucinated by someone's eyes in the previous track. This feels like actually being in the hallucination, you know what I'm saying? It's so good. This is like just flawless. This is like just seamless, so well put together. Rock music that has so much character. There's so much like meat on the bones. There's so much to dig into. Like, there's gonna be, I guarantee, so much more for me to find on repeated listens, dude. This is nuts. Rainy Day Dream Away, track 9. Track 10. Wait, which one did I miss? Chad, does anyone know which one I missed? Alright, I'm gonna keep playing. Someone tell me which one I missed. I missed Gypsy Eyes. 9.5 was Lamp. Yeah. Gypsy Eyes. Gypsy Eyes I'd probably give like a 9.6. Still an amazing track. My bad for not saying a score. The drums double tracked. It sounds like two different takes on the left and the right. Any 8s? Not so far. It's been cruising in the high 9 to 10 range the entire time. Yeah, and it doesn't feel tonally inconsistent either. Like, all of the songs feel like they fit together. Wait, I'm forgetting which song was which. Oh wait, no, I mixed it up with, sorry, yep, that's my bad. Yeah, Gypsy Eyes is a 10. Fuck it, I'm mixing up which song is which. Jack, can you tell I'm like so tired at this point? Sorry, I was mixing it up with track 6. Nice transition. A lot of these songs instrumentally just kind of feel like the entire... Oh my god, nearly 14 minutes. A lot of these songs just kind of feel like the band sort of jamming together, and that song is no exception to that. Particularly with the guitar and the saxophone at the halfway point. Yeah, they just all sort of have like a sort of jammy quality to them, and because the band all have just such incredible chemistry, it works like perfectly on all of these songs. Like, instrumentally, I cannot point out a single flaw. I can't point out any flaws in the album, full stop, really. Like, this is just smooth sailing, no problems, no bad pacing, no tonal inconsistency. Not a single note of this album is off. Another 9.7. Amazing. 1983, A Merman I Should Turn to Be. Oh, Bob Dylan's one of his main influences. That's cool. Yeah, Bob Dylan's great. And I didn't even know All Along the Watchtower was a Bob Dylan cover. I didn't even know that.
Not to die, but to be reborn, away from land so battered and torn. Straight ahead, and to live and breathe underwater, forever was a main complaint. Anyway, you know good and well, it would be beyond the will of God. And the so my darling and I make love in the sand to salute the last moment ever on dry land.
Apparently there's no more lyrics after this, so we're getting, what, like a 10-minute instrumental. God, it's just so smooth. Some real avant-garde experimental shit right here. This is him becoming a merman. They're able to do so much with so little. It's just a ride cymbal, white noise, and like a pitch bending sound. And now everything else is coming back in right as I say that, of course, because fuck me. Picture being underwater. That's exactly what the song paints here. It sounds like it's underwater. Like just sinking and looking up at the surface. The cymbal, that hi-hat just being taken all the way around the mix, just wrapping round and around, literally makes it feel like the song's spinning. The hell is that? Wait, really? That's wild. That's actually nuts. Controlled jam, yeah. I love that, man. As the bass comes in and takes over the mix, it sort of sounds like everything else is fighting to stay in control. It's a Hendrix bass overdub, huh? That's cool. Those double kicks are really fast. Did Mitch Mitchell play with double bass? Or is that single foot? Because those double kicks are super clean. Start playing with double bass later, okay. Yeah, his double kicks are super clean there. I literally said it sounded like the song was sinking in water, did I not? And now he's talking about going further down. And look, to prove that I wasn't cheating, the lyrics aren't even here on Spotify. That was the best song on the album. If it gets better than that, which it's not going to, I don't think it's possible for this album to get better than that song. If it gets better than that, I will lose my mind. You have a feeling you're going to hear me say that again? Yeah? I don't... I don't see how they can top that. That was literally perfect. That is the perfect rock song right there. Where do I begin? It starts off as like just another incredible song on the album, you know? It starts off, it's super strong, great riff, fantastic bass line, you know, the drums are great as always. Then you get to, what was it, about 3 minutes in, and it has just that sudden transition into this really weird atmospheric piece with the cymbals swirling around, the sound amazing, and you have just this high-pitched ringing that keeps getting pitched down every time, and it sounds like almost like water dripping into a tap. And then as all of the other instruments come in, you sort of start to get the picture that it's meant to be the song sinking underwater. And that's validated when later on in the track he says, "Down and down we go, a mermaid comes towards me," or whatever the hell he said at the end there. It progresses so slowly, it takes so much time, but it uses its time so wisely. Yeah, that's pretty perfect, to be honest. If this album gets better than that, then I don't know, like do a backflip or something. I'm not going to do that. I don't know what I'm going to do if the album gets better than that. I'm going to enjoy whatever song could possibly be better than that. Very good. 100 push-ups? Not a chance in hell. Moon turns the tides gently, gently away. Hot tubs... No. Nice interlude track. I feel like as a follow-up to... As a track on its own, I'm not going to rate it, but as a follow-up to 1983, because they transition into each other, it does genuinely work perfectly. And I guess it's meant to be like sort of a buffer between 1983 and Still Raining. So I'm going to give it no rating because I sort of don't know how to rate that. Because again, it is just like a white noise interlude. So, no rating. But I would still give it a thumbs up. Rainy Day. Oh, no, I'm reading the lyrics. Still Raining, Still Dreaming. And by that, Spotify doesn't want to play this song. Jesus Christ, man. Okay. Interludes always get an A for you. I don't always give interludes a no rating. Oh, yeah, it's a reprise of Rainy Day, Dream Away, yeah. Also, apparently I say the word reprise wrong, which I'm not changing how I say that word, it sounds right to me. I'm not pronouncing it reprise, that sounds too posh. Damn, this is delaying your computer science homework. You should probably get that done. Guitar conversation, yeah. Yeah. Alright. It's so different from rap and it's hard to adapt. What, is rap the only thing you listen to? You gotta branch out, you gotta start listening. Although you don't have to, but I always recommend not sticking to one genre. Teenager? Bro, I wasn't only listening to rap when I was a teenager. In fact, I wasn't listening to normal teenager music at all. I started listening to Swans and fucking Radiohead. I did not listen to, you know, the stuff that teenagers normally listen to as a teenager, I guess. So I can't really say anything, but still. My recommendation to anyone who listens to music is to branch out, try and consume as many styles as possible, from as many different time periods as possible as well, because listening to just one type of thing is boring. Still Raining, Still Dreaming. Incredible. I like it about just as much as Rainy Day, Dream Away. I would give it probably, honestly, the same score as like a 9.7. Great reprise. Makes a lot of sense to be in here. I got no complaints. It's just a fantastic return to that track that honestly, it does make a lot of sense in context here. House Burning Down. That's fine.
He just coughed and changed the subject, so I stood on my horse's back.
song has a certain like anthemic quality to it. Incredible call and response to the guitars there. Yeah. Yeah, the effects are seriously so impressive throughout this. Yeah. Getting these sounds out of, getting these sounds out of this in the 60s must have been, like, insanely difficult. Like, it's so interesting going back and seeing all of, like, these iconic old albums that are sort of seen as, like, technical achievements being made in music. It feels like going back and watching, like, the wheel be invented, but, you know, for music, you know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that it holds up so well, I think is the most impressive thing to me. The fact that they're going so experimental and so psychedelic, and it isn't sort of bogged down by the limitations of the time period, is so impressive. Because with a lot of stuff like this, when it's trying to do something experimental, it's limited to what's experimental at the time. And this doesn't feel dated at all. It just feels like it is like just as good now as it would have been back then. Oh my god. Somehow the limitations make it better. Yeah, because they had to, like, improvise, right? The things that they had to do to be able to get such incredible sounds made for incredible sounds, you know what I'm saying? I would be so... Is there any, like, footage of them recording this album? I would be so interested to look at that. To see what the recording process of this was like. Like, did they capture any of this? All Along the Watchtower. Isn't this Jimi Hendrix's biggest song? There's a whole compilation of alternate takes and rehearsals and stuff. That's cool. I'd love to see how it just, like, even gets a slight insight to how any of this shit was made. All Along the Watchtower.
There must be some kind of way out of here. Say the joker to the thief, get no relief.
Yeah, this one's the Bob Dylan cover, yeah.
None will level on the mind. Nobody of it is worth.
It really does, yeah.
Among us.
Among Us. Interesting. Well, I can't resist making an Among Us joke, damn it. I've heard that song a lot. Like, I've heard that song a lot. Like, easily the song I've heard the most from Jimi Hendrix. And context really does matter. The context brings that song up a lot for me. Coming after the previous song, it makes so much sense. And context has changed my thoughts on a lot of the songs on this album. Like, it's made it basically every song I'd already heard before grow on me, because hearing them where they're supposed to be in the album and how they, like, reflect from previous tracks and tracks afterwards, it really does make me appreciate the songs to an even higher degree than I already did. Album context really, really does affect this a lot. All Along the Watchtower, an incredible song, undeniable song, I mean, damn near perfect song, well deserving of being Jimi Hendrix's, like, most played song. Incredible, 9.6, legit, so good. I can't believe we are already, like, basically done with this album. Final track, Voodoo Child. Everyone's heard this also? Damn, this has 200 million streams. This one's massive. Oh, damn. That is heavy as hell. I don't think I have. Actually, crazy solo, damn.
Right back one of these days.
Goes hard for 1968 for real. Wow. Actually, perfect closer. 10, basically a perfect closer. Great wrapping up of all of the sounds of the album. It's the heaviest song by far. The guitar tones just feel so much more like disgusting and aggressive on this song, and I love that. The guitar solo halfway through went absolutely ridiculous. This shit was just insane. That was like legit a perfect closer. I could not ask for it to be better. That was Electric Ladyland. That was a practically flawless album. Front to back, there was not even a single note that I wasn't a fan of. There was not a single second where I wasn't completely locked in with it. This is a masterclass in not only songwriting, but in instrumental proficiency, in production, in recording. It's so ahead of its time, it's so ahead of the curve, that the fact that it came out in 1968 doesn't feel real to me. It does not feel like this should be a 60s album, even though it is. Every member of the band works perfectly with each other. The chemistry on this album is immaculate. They all bounce so well off of each other. I think that the pacing is also flawless. Like, there's 2 10-minute plus songs on here, but the album still feels like it goes by like that. It is just providing you with so many interesting instrumental ideas, incredible lyrical themes, Jimi Hendrix providing some of the most likable vocals and insane guitar riffs and solos you can imagine. I don't see how this album could be better. I don't think there is a universe where this album could be better than it is. I'm going to add up my scores, and then I'm going to tell you what the big number is. Feeling a 9.8 out of 10 on this album. A 9.8. You have to understand, this is the closest to something I can give a 10, like without it being a 10. It's like the highest, like most golden 9.8 I can give. I'm actually blown away. I'm lost for words. I'm lost for words with how with how good this album, with how this is, with how incredible this album is. It's not a 10. It's not a 10. I'm confident in my 9.8 rating. I don't think it's a 10, but a 9.8 is pretty damn close to a 10, so be happy with it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think of this album down below. How does it compare to other 60s rock albums? Do you love it? Do you think it's overrated and whatever? And let me know what other albums from Jimi Hendrix you'd like to see me listen to next. Let me know what other albums you'd like me to listen to down in the comments as well. Links in the description to my Discord, my Twitter, my album of the year, and my second channel. Check those out if you haven't. Make sure you like and sub if you haven't as well. We're on our way to 2K, and I will see you all when I next stream or upload. Bye bye.